What's up everybody, Sam here. Today we are checking out something really unique. The AtomStack Glacier is the world's first water-cooled 120 watts dye laser cutter. Yes, you heard that right, 120 watts and water-cooled, all packed into this unit right here beside me. It delivers cutting power that you normally only get from this bulky and much more expensive CO2 laser engravers. It can cut through 30mm polymer or 25mm basswood plywood in a single pass. Just look at the cutting surface, super clean and smoke-free. And thanks to its huge frame, it supports a massive 780 by 760mm engraving area, the largest I've seen on any gantry style laser engraver. And that's just the beginning. In this video, I'll walk you through everything about this beast and help you decide if it's the right fit for you. Here is everything that comes in the box. Alongside the usual 4-axis frame components you'd expect from a typical gantry style engraver, we also get a water chiller, the 120 watts laser module, and an offline controller. The chiller has a powerful 420 watts cooling capacity. It circulates hot water out and cool water in. Once connected to power, the screen displays the current temperature and water flow in real time. The controller is a nice touch too. It has auto resume, so if you disconnect your computer or experience a power outage, it will continue engraving seamlessly once power is restored. You also get a one-touch autofocus and milli-level precision. And finally, the star of the show, the 120 watts laser head. It features a seal design with a precision micro nozzle and quick-release water tubes to prevent leaks and make maintenance easier. Compared to traditional open laser heads, this seal design makes a huge difference. During heavy cutting, smoke usually clogs the fan and optics, but not here. This dye laser can output an optic power of 100 watts in normal mode, and when turbo mode is activated, it can reach the maximum power, 120 watts. According to AtomStack, it requires up to 90% less maintenance, ideal for heavy-duty users. Now that we've gone over the key components, let's assemble it. This isn't a tutorial video, so I want to go step by step. The process is pretty standard if you've assembled a gantry style laser before. First, lay out the 4 frame sections, then install the X-axis rail, attach the couplers, mount the control box, roll the wiring harness, install laser head, and connect air hose and water tubes. Speaking of that, here's how to fill the water chiller. Unscrew the top cap, insert the funnel, add purified water, not tap water. Don't fill past the max line. Screw the cap back on. That's it. Here's how it looks when fully assembled. Just follow the steps. Even if it's your first laser, it shouldn't take more than 30 minutes. Sure, setup takes a little bit longer than some plug and play machines I've reviewed, but remember, this is a one-time thing. You don't have to redo the whole setup every time you use. The AtomStack Glacier supports labor, as you'd expect, but it also comes with its own app, AtomStack Studio, which in my experience is actually easier to use. The interface is clean, simplified, and intuitive. Again, this isn't a full software tutorial, so I just list the key settings I use for each engraving and cutting test throughout the video. Let's jump right into the cutting performance. Once powered on, you can see the water flowing rapidly through the laser head's inlet and outlet port. Together with the chiller, this keeps the laser dye at core temperature under 30 degrees Celsius, extending the lifespan by up to 5 times, with no noticeable degradation even after 50,000 hours. If you run it for 8 hours a day, that's 17 years of continuous use. I might as well pass it on to my grandson as a family heirloom. Jokes aside, let's start with focusing. We see there is an autofocus button right on the controller box. Just press it and the machine handles the rest. The laser head automatically moves up and down a few times to find optimal focus distance. Honestly, every laser machine should have this feature. Let's start with the simple test. I cut through a 3mm thick 600 by 600mm sheet of basswood plywood. I'm not faking anything here. This is a full real-time time-lapse. Check out the cutting surface. No scorching, no connections between the wood pieces, just clean, precise cuts. And look at the tiny details. Some parts are as thin as 1 millimeter and still cut perfectly. AtomStack says this is thanks to the pattern beam compression technology and next-gen COS package laser, which gives 30% sharper cuts and flawless detail. With that kind of precision, you can focus on creating detailed artwork, like the 11-layer piece I showed earlier. Now, let's get serious. Here's a 20mm basswood plywood cutting test. Again, I show the 4 time-lapse. And here is the cutting surface, super clean. If you look close at the cutting process, you'll notice how the smoke gets blown to the backside of the board by the powerful air pump, leaving the front side spotless. Check the cross section, smooth and vertical, with no angled edges like you'd often see on weaker laser cutters. Throughout the entire cut, performance remains stable, no flare-ups and no interruptions due to overheating. And speaking of flare-ups, you might be wondering, is a 120W star laser safe to use? Well, AtomStack definitely thought this through. First up, there is flame detection system. As soon as it detects any sign of fire, the machine will immediately stop and trigger an alarm. A critical safety feature for peace of mind. Next, it has limit switches that prevent the gantry from moving beyond its boundaries, helping protect the machine from mechanical damage. There's also TLD detection, but what I really want to highlight is the power of resume function. Even if you lose power completely, the machine will pick up right where it left off once power is restored. To demonstrate that, I cut power 3 different times while engraving this hard pattern, and as you can see in the time-lapse footage, it resumed flawlessly. No visible seams, no ruined work. This is a game changer for anyone working in areas with unstable electricity. And of course, AtomStack offers an optional protective enclosure for extra safety and dust control. Since I received this unit before the official launch, I don't have the enclosure here to show you, but it's definitely a great add-on if you're planning to use indoors. Although the Glacier is a powerhouse for cutting, it's no slouch when it comes to engraving either. Here I engraved a family photo and then cut out. Turned out great. I also tried engraving on various other materials. As you can see, it handles them really well. Even the 3D embossed engraving on this wood. Wow! Before I get to my final conclusion, let me show you the laser head. After all that heavy cutting and engraving, there's no visible dust buildup or smudging on the laser output window or fan area. With the most typical air-cooled gantry lasers, you will see a lot of dust buildup that's visible to the naked eye. That's the clear advantage of fully enclosed laser head design. Virtually no maintenance needed even after extended use. So that's my full review of the AtomStack Glacier. With its 120W max power, external water cooling system, and a huge 780 by 760mm work area, it offers cutting performance that rivals bulky CO2 machines, but at a much more accessible price point. Setup is straightforward, operation is beginner-friendly thanks to features like one-touch water focus, and it's packed with safety tools like tail detection, flame alarms, and auto-resume after power loss. If you're looking for a high-performance star laser that's powerful, reliable, and safe, the Glacier is definitely one to consider. And if you're interested, please check the link in the description and back now. Thanks for watching, and Sammy will see you in the next one. Bye bye.